Anthony Hartwig here with another girls basketball season preview Coach's Corner. We're in Beaver Local with head coach Tony Sorge. Coach, thank you so much for talking to us today about your team.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you for having me. We're excited to get the season started.
Before we talk about all those exciting things that are coming on this year, one of the things I want to ask, and I ask all these coaches, is just a little bit of a recap of last year and some of the things that you think were lessons that the returning players can learn from last year, and what you hope the team grows in from last year's experience.
Well, last year we ended up having a tough second half of the season last year. So we started off slow last year. We were starting to gain some momentum, gain confidence, continuing to improve, and we started off 1-5. We got to 5-7. Started to play real well, and like I said, gained some momentum and confidence going in second half of the season. Um, and then at that point, we lost our best player, Peyton Roberts, to an injury. We lost her for the season, so that was a big blow for us for that second half of the season. So we were looking to really make some noise at that second half of the season. It was a big adjustment for us. So one thing we take from that is the players had to learn how to play without her. So that was a big learning experience for the rest of the team. Without Peyton on the court, we needed multiple players to step up and fill that void. So it was a learning experience for many players, and coming into the season now, you know they dealt with that last year. They learned how to play without her last year. So coming into the season now, they don't have to work that out and figure that out. So they're already at the point where we've learned what we need to do without her on the court. So that made it tough last year. We were pretty confident we were going to have a successful season and get into the get around right around 12 wins last year. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But we're looking to improve from that this year.
No one ever wants to see a player like Peyton go down, but do you think, like you said, getting those players that experience and having to kind of put some players into some situations that maybe you probably wouldn't have had to put them in until this year when she graduated, do you think that puts you a little bit quote unquote ahead of schedule this year and takes care of some things that you thought probably that you'd have to start with this year that have already been taken care of?
Absolutely. We stressed this last year at the beginning of the season that everyone needs to be scorers. Everyone needs to think like a scorer, and we can't rely on Peyton. But when you have a player like Peyton and her skill and what she can do on the court, it's easy to fall back on what she can contribute and what she can do on the court and still end up relying on her. So yes, absolutely, they're further ahead. Last year, second half of the season, we had players step up and really improved as far as having that scorer's mentality. So they worked that out last year. They worked on it in the off season. So yes, they're definitely further ahead right now. And I see an increase in the confidence level of some of our players offensively compared to what we had last year during that second half of the season.
Let's have a meet the team segment. Let's go over the roster and some of the big names that we're going to be hearing from this year on the court for Beaver Local.
Well, we have two returning starters from last year. That's Callie Sorge and Tori Druschel. They're both seniors, so we're expecting a lot from them this year. They're going to step up. We need them to take a leadership role as well. Come in as senior leaders. Of course, we look at that for any of our players. Taking a leadership role, but they're going to step into that senior leadership role and then they just got to lead on the court. So we have those returning starters. We have Bella McLevy, who's a junior this year. She's really our first player off the bench last year. She started some games for us last year. So she has a ton of experience. Was a big contributor last year, and she's going to come in and we need her again. She's another one we need to step up. She's going to be strong defensively, um, and we need her to really step up offensively as well. Tori Druschel can play really good defense for us, and at times she can really get some points as well as she did in some games last year in that second half of the season. Callie is a really tough defender, and she's probably our best all around shooter as well. So we expect a lot of scoring from her. And we also have Mallory Miller, who's a sophomore, and she had a lot of varsity time last year, so she got some good experience. So, she's going to be expected to step in and contribute. Um, Allie Wright is a junior. She did not play last year, but she came back this year. She's looked really good in the summer. She's very smart player, and we think she's going to do real well for us. And then we also have a freshman coming in that's just done very, very well, Bradley Curtis, and she's a skilled player, and we feel she's going to contribute quite a bit this year.
Coach, every year the first thing a coach has to do is look at the roster and try to decide what this team is going to be good at and what the strengths are going to be of this team. What would you think some of the things that you guys can expose as strengths of this team would be going into this season?
Our strengths are going to have to be speed. I mean, we got to get out and play fast. So we lost size. We graduated 4 seniors last year, and that really was our size for the past couple years. And we had Peyton, who can play anywhere on the court, and there's times, of course, we'd have her handle the ball. She'd be a guard, she'd be out in the wing. We'd put her inside as well. So she can, we used her any way we could, but we also had Cami Starkey, Cameron Young, and Addie Eels, who graduated, and those were, and it's they had some height, not great height, but for us, they were some of our taller players, but they were also bigger, played stronger. So those were our big players, and we lost that. So and we're a small team, so we have to get out and run. And just play fast. We got to get up and down the court. So I mean that's going to be a strength that needs to be a strength of ours this year. Is just the increase in the speed at which we play, and going full court. That's got to be the type of team we are this year.
Now let's talk about your schedule and some of the big obstacles that will be in your way. Talk about your schedule, some of the teams that you're really excited about to pop up on it, and some of the challenges that you're really looking forward to.
Well, this year, our schedule, we're in the Buckeye 8 conference, and it's a challenging conference. Has been, we have some pretty tough teams in there, but we feel we can compete this year. We felt last year we were getting to the point where we can compete. There's the teams at the top end that were tough, and you have Union Local. They've been a top program for years. And I mean, they're typically a 20-win season year in and year out. You have Indian Creek, who's another 20-win team. And those are top. Those are top in the division, usually year in, year out. You also have Martins Ferry and Bel Air, who were really good last year. We don't have them on a schedule this year, unless we meet up in the Buckeye 8 tournament. But we played them last year. Those are some tough teams, and so it gets to be a challenging conference. And some of the teams like Harrison Central is usually pretty good. We usually have very competitive games with them as well. So we look to have a pretty competitive, challenging conference schedule, but we're ready to compete, and we feel we can do well. We open up with Union Local, so that's a top team. I believe they won 19 games last year, but they're a good program, so we got to be ready for that first game, and then that'll tell us where we are at that time, and then then going forward. But still we have East Liverpool. They're back in the conference this year as well, but we still played them last year 2 games. But that's a big rivalry game. That's a top rivalry, and that's always an exciting game for both teams. That's a game where it doesn't matter what your records are. You're going to have a battle, and we're looking forward to that. But we added Wellsville to the schedule this year for a non-conference game. We have Brooke, who's also added this year, and they're joining the conference next year, I believe it is. But yeah, Columbiana again on the schedule this year. They're a 20-win team from last year. United again. We're playing them again this year. So a lot of, we're up for the challenge. We're looking forward to this schedule. There's going to be some challenging teams, but we feel that we're going to be at a point where we can compete and we can win some of these games, or a lot of these games. We can win a lot of them.
Coach, one of the things that we want to also make sure that we get, and we do this with every season preview, talk about the staff that you've put together and the staff from middle school all the way up to varsity that helps you make this program really what it is. I want you to talk about the people that are behind you and the people that are helping you build up Beaver Local to the program that it is right now.
Well, coaching staff makes a huge difference, and I'll touch on our youth, because we have several coaches in the youth program year in and year out, and we've grown our youth program pretty large. This year we have 65 girls in our youth program. Last year we had 74 in our program, and so there's several teams we have, and we have to have the coaches. We typically have 2 coaches per team, so there's a lot of coaches in our youth program, and we're fortunate to have some very good coaches at that level, because that's where it all starts. We got to start developing these girls at that age, and teaching them the right way to play. And we have actually, we were talking about Peyton Roberts, and she's in school right now at Kent, but she's also coaching one of our youth teams for us as well, which is, it's exciting for the kids. It's exciting for her, and we know what kind of player she was, and what she can bring to teaching those youth. We have some quality coaches at that level, and that's where it starts. Now at the middle school level, we have Brad Starkey. He was my JV coach for the last 3 years. He moved to junior high. That was a change we made. He was 100% wanting to do this, because he's all for helping develop and grow this program. And he's with our 7th grade team this year. He knows everything. He knows our system. He knows what we're looking for. He knows, where these girls have been coming into high school, and what, some of the things we need to focus on to get them better prepared for the high school level. So, we're excited about that. Bob Thies is a coach at the junior high. Jamie Gatus and Mike Ross. We have 4 coaches this year in junior high. So the more we can do with these kids at these younger levels, the better it's going to be when they come into high school. So we have some quality coaches there.
Coach, and then one of the things that we always also like to do is shout out the community and when they can come watch you guys for the first time. What's your first game and the first time the fans can come see you guys play?
We open up the season on Friday, November 22nd at home against Union Local. And that's coming pretty quick. So yeah, that's our first game, and we're working hard preparing for it. We're looking forward to the start of the season.
Beaver Local not wasting any time. The first official day of the season, they're out there playing.
Yeah.
That's what you like to see. So get out there and support Beaver Local. Coach, we want to thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck this season, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.